What's up, guys? Look. Oh my gosh, I'm live in two places. I am live in two places. On the day that I look a hot mess and I didn't brush my hair or anything, but that's fine because this is what this is all about. Look at the ambiance. Do y'all like the fire? Do you like the fireside? I just realized this elephant back here looks a little weird, and I do have yogurt on my shirt from Brooks earlier. So maybe this elephant should how should he be? Should he be, is that good? This is still really weird. Okay, maybe you just get back and be in the, so you can tell it. Oh my gracious. What percentage of people's live streams are getting everything like you like it? That didn't help. Oh gracious. If y'all are just coming to this live stream, then, oh, hey, Instagram, I forgot y'all are here too. Hey, are y'all I'm so glad to be on both places. Now, where do I look? What do I do? I've never done two lives before. So we got YouTube over here and Instagram over here. So when I'm looking at both of y'all, if I didn't think I was already distracted enough with the comments on live streaming on just YouTube, well, guess what? Now we have Instagram too, but that is super cool. And I'm really excited to be here with y'all in this setting with the elephant. Looks really weird. I don't know what to do with him, but I don't want to make him leave because he's a nice guy. What if he's just, there's really no way to make him look fine and normal and not, here, he can just sit with me. That still doesn't look right, does it? Okay, anyways, we'll just move him out of the shot because he's a little bit distracting. So, any hoozles. Yes, elephant. You like the elephant. Jana likes the elephant and the yogurt. I got yogurt, and then right before we got on, I also got a banana on my arm as well. We have been in Tuscaloosa all weekend and just got back probably about an hour ago. And this is life with my hair right now. It's all falling down from its ponytail because we have had a super chill day. Like I said, we've been in Tuscaloosa. We went to the game yesterday. If y'all saw my picture, I feel like I need to look at both of y'all. This is like when you're talking to a couple of people and then you're just sitting there talking and then you realize you've been looking at one person the whole time and then you're like, oh wait, I forgot. I should look at you too. So thank you, Beautiful You by Tina Whited. Thanks for the super chat. Love you and your family. Thank you. And thanks for being here and watching. At least there's no boogers. Now that you know of, I was just about to say before I read the rest of your comment, April, I was just about to say, yeah, no boogers, except probably because there's yogurt here and there's probably booger somewhere. Maybe even poop. You never know. You just never know what you're going to get. The weather, somebody just asked on Instagram how the weather is down here. And don't be have the fire on because it is, let's just see what. It says 53 degrees. So we are, it's super cold to us. It's not super, super, super cold to everybody else, but it is to us. And we've been gone all weekend and we did not have our heat. We did not turn our heat on because it hadn't been on yet for the season because we've been trying to hold out. Who tries to hold out as long as you can when it starts to get cold outside before you turn the heat on? And what temperature do you let it get to? Y'all just drop a temperature of what you let your house get to before you turn the heat on for the first time of the year. Because when we came home, it was 59 in our house. And now we have had the upstairs heat on some for the bedrooms and stuff. But we have not had the whole house heat on. So yeah, when we came home, it was 59 and we walked in, we're it kind of feels like the same temperature that is in the actual outside in our house. So we should probably turn the heat on. So we gave in and we turned it on. But let's see, 65, 62. Vanessa Frigno, I'm the towel is cold, furnace. Kendall said we just turned our heat on a couple weeks ago. I don't know about the inside tip. When it started getting in 30s at night, we switched it on. Yeah, we probably would have turned it on sooner and not let it get to 59 if we were here. Sometimes we'll sleep with it 60 at night, but during the day it's a little bit too cold. But we are cold weather people. So, okay, I have absolutely no idea about managing Instagram stuff and if there's anything going on over here that I need to see. Y'all are kind of halfway propped up behind my computer. 29 degrees in your house before you turn on the, certainly you mean outside. In other news, the quality of Instagram is so much better than YouTube. So yeah, I came to you guys today. Y'all should feel super special because I'm live streaming and letting y'all be a part of this joyous experience of my face that is not like I didn't even bother to cover up my dark circles under my eyes or fix my hair, but I decided the fire would cover for it and y'all can look at the beautiful fireplace. Because when we came in, I was like, oh, what is it about the fire? It's so cold. And then I said, well, let me just live stream by the fire. How about that? So yes. How is everybody doing? Have y'all had a good weekend? Down to 55 when you turn the heat on, but you lost power. Oh no, that's no good. Oh yeah, the burning dust smell when you first turn the heater on. That's my favorite. Okay, so I guess I kind of lie. I say we haven't turned the heat on yet, but we did. There was one day, we have like a Nest thermostat, and I guess maybe it has some kind of automatic switcheroo thing. I don't know. And we were sitting here, and it was during the day. The kids were at school, and Cullen and I were like, oh my gosh, something's burning. What is on fire? And so we started like running around the house trying to find out what was on fire. And I was like, I mean, I have a candle lit, but it doesn't smell like a candle. Something is burning. Something's on fire. What is going on? And we realized, I was like, wait. That kind of sounds like the heat. And then we felt the like vents and it was on. And I was like, no, stop it. You're not allowed to come on yet. So anyway, I was only on for a few minutes. So anyways, there's a fire where I live and it's really big, but we evacuated. I saw something about that. I've been kind of out of the loop because since we've been out of town and doing our thing this weekend, I haven't really been super like active on all of everything. But yeah, thinking of all of you guys in California with the fire, it sounds like it's terrible. And there's just some really tragic stuff that's been going on. So, whew, goodness, that's just, it's really a crazy thing to even imagine as, you know, where we're from. We don't have that kind of thing that happens. And so thoughts and prayers to all of you guys there. That is really, really tough. But okay, so who does not have work tomorrow? Because we're going to be working because life, but the kids don't have school. So that is cool. But anyways, talking about, I'm sorry, I'm getting off track because I'm trying to like figure out what's going on here with all these different places that I'm live streaming. My video Thursday. Who saw my video Thursday and who liked it and who I was super, super, super appreciative of all of y'all's amazing comments that I saw somebody say, hey, Cullen, he must be in here. Hey, Cullen, that must mean the kids are watching. Or unless you got them to bed that fast. That would be impressive if they're already asleep. Cullen was in charge of putting both the kids to bed tonight because we were later getting home than we usually are. So yes, I was super, super thankful and impressed with all of y'all's sweet comments. Y'all are just like literally the nicest, sweetest, most supportive folks ever. And I really appreciate it because I was really kind of like nervous to share the stuff in my last video. I guess, you know, reading people's comments, I was like, I guess it's not necessarily groundbreaking or something that people don't struggle with. But if you do, you understand it. And if you don't, you think that I'm just completely crazy. But I will say that it has been such a game changer as far as how I view the world, how I view life, how I view my relationship, my kids, my everything. But it is still a struggle every day. To make sure that I don't kind of follow that same path. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, oh, Angelica, thank you. That's so nice. If y'all have no clue what I'm talking about, then I talked about how I kind of had this realization of the way that I was thinking about things in my life. And I know a lot of you have seen it, so I'll keep it short, but, gosh, I get so distracted wanting to read the comments. Okay, speaking of this is along the same lines. Faith Hope Love said, can you share how you turn your marriage around? And I mean, like, just to be completely honest with y'all, nothing is ever perfect. I mean, maybe some people's marriages and lives are perfect, but we still have a lot to work on. You know, I think when you go through a really hard time, it's hard to just say like, one day everything's better. There's going to be struggles and there's going to be ups and downs, but I will say that the one thing that seemed to so far have helped at least get us on the right path is for me personally is when I started kind of working on myself. So let me just like block some people. Okay. Anyways, Uh, Working on myself. And I know it's one of those things that if you're in a relationship where usually it's the other person's fault and things aren't, good because somebody else is doing something that isn't like helpful to the relationship and blah, blah, blah. But I think everybody has things about themselves that they can improve. And I will say that even when most likely, actually, if you're sitting there thinking, um, everything that the other person does is the reason for the entire reason for all of our problems, I would say work on yourself because it's always a two-way street and there's always things that both people can improve. But kind of what I had talked about in my video was sort of just, it's just kind of even weird to explain. And those of y'all that understand. Those of y'all that don't, I guess it's kind of getting into a mindset that the things that happen, that other people make decisions, I somehow feel responsible for those decisions. And I would say, I mean, there were some questions, people asking like, what do you think this is from? Or like, I saw somebody say, do you think that being on YouTube has kind of made you think this way? Like overanalyze what other people think about you or overanalyze what other people are doing. And I mean, maybe that might have had an impact on it to some extent, but I kind of think I've been a little bit that way my whole life. And it's almost like, I guess, I can understand how super frustrating it would be for Cullen, but also allowing myself to get so frustrated when somebody doesn't make a decision like I would, or when somebody doesn't do something like I would. And I don't really think it's necessarily just me being like, everybody's stupid and I'm perfect and y'all can't do it right. But more of like, I've spent time thinking about how I would do something or how some situation should be handled. And then when somebody else does it in a different way, it kind of makes me go, oh, that's like, why would they do that? And then it would just like get to me and really, really bother me. And especially in a marriage where you're working together. And so everything you do is together. You make decisions about your kids together. You make decisions about your business. You like have responsibilities, not just for your house and your kids and your pets and your like social life and your spiritual life and your like family life, but also your business life. That's where it gets hard because a lot of it is, well, the way you handle this does impact me because I'm like, it's our business, it's our kids, it's our whatever. But is along with trusting yourself, which I've talked about a lot, and making sure that you kind of like trust yourself in the decisions that you're making and the ways you're handling things. It's also a lot about trusting the other person to some extent that they'll make the right decisions. And not everybody is trustworthy. Like that's just the flat truth of it. But in that situation, now I'm not talking like, life or death. If something is really, really, really important, like, hey, I'm just going to take the kids to the grocery store and I'm just not going to put them in car seats. Well, that's obviously just not okay. And not that that's ever happened. Y'all, let me just tell you, most of the time I try to give examples that have actually never happened because I feel weird giving. Now, that's okay. This is probably confusing. Those types of examples are ones that haven't happened. But when I tell y'all something like, so let me tell you what happened the other day, that's actually usually a real example. But if I'm like, let me think of something, then that's usually a non-real example. That has never happened. Cullen would never just take the kids anywhere without a car seat. But I'm just saying, in a serious situation like that, you just have to step in and be like, I'm sorry, no. But in the little things that were causing a lot of stress for me, you kind of just have to trust that the other person, whether they do it the way you would or not, if it is not going to change the course of your life or dramatically impact the course of your day, let it go and trust that they're going to handle it, and know that if it does go wrong, then that is on them. Like that has been hard for me. And I do have to remember that every day. Like that is on them if they make a decision and something goes wrong. I gave the example one day about like overdoing responsibilities for other people at work. Like if somebody's not being responsible and not doing their stuff, and then you kind of cover for them, you make sure everything is done so it gets done. Well, if the stuff doesn't get done and it's not actually your responsibility or your job, is your boss going to come looking for you? No, they're going to come looking for that person. And if you've continued to cover for them or, pick up the slack for them to an extent that it's really not healthy, that's going to just cause more trouble for them because they're going to learn to be lazy or they're going to learn to not do the work. And I don't know. There's just all kinds of things that have been going through my mind lately, and this is only a part of it. But I think it's just definitely something that has really, really changed the way things have gone in my life and the way I look at people. I talked about in the video, it's called When You Can't Trust, I think. I talked about kind of like the moment, like the life-changing moment that I had that kind of just really turned my thought process around and made me have a major realization. And since then, it's like every day new things keep happening and new things keep coming to mind, and I keep learning new things and really just realizing that the way I've kind of been and lived my life is just, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let me read some of y'all's comments and let me know how you guys are doing with this, what your thoughts are. If you've had trouble with any of these things yourself, things you're struggling with now. Let's see. Antonia said, so glad I'm catching up with you tonight. I had a rough day today. I welcome a little self-talk to make tomorrow better. I have to learn to let go of control a little and delegate responsibilities. Yes. And that's part of it too. I mean, it's, kind of just like wanting to be in control of things. And I think for me, I kind of hesitate to use the word control because I don't ever feel like I feel like when you say you're trying to be controlling or you want to control something, it's meant in like a negative, harmful, hurtful, like you're trying to be such a bad person and just control me. I guess when I think of somebody trying to control somebody else, it's like a negative thing. And I think though, wanting to have control is basically wanting to keep consistency in your life and keep things predictable, I guess. And when you kind of have this idea that you kind of know the best way to do things because of the way that you've thought about it or previous experiences you've had, then you do want to have control over those situations. You want to make sure that you're not completely just not able to, I don't know. I like things to be predictable and I like to just know what's going to happen. Let's see. Beautiful you. She said, this is huge and a major aha moment. Thank you. I need to work on that because I let so many dumb things bother me. Yes. And seriously, me too. And I was finding myself getting like so frustrated and like fuming mad inside of me down to the depths of my soul because of one stupid little like nothing that it just not important. Let it go. If you're not the one that's going to have to deal with the consequence, then let it go because it ain't your thing. Holly Adams said, I've been reading Boundaries, watching your videos and doing biblical counseling. It's been great. That's awesome. A lot of people actually asked about the Boundaries book because I've mentioned a few times. I'm like, oh yeah, the Boundaries book that I've been reading. What's it called? People want to know. And it's actually just called Boundaries, like Boundaries. That's the name of the book. And it's by Henry Cloud and John Townsend, I think. And it's really good if you have trouble with that, setting boundaries and kind of letting people, the way I've talked about it is like, here's you, here's another person. A boundary is where you stop and the other person begins. And one of the things that relates to all of this, what I talked about last week, is when like, your boundaries start kind of crossing over each other and you kind of are seeing yourself almost as the other person. And that, like I said, sounds weird if you have no clue what I'm talking about, but yeah, it's a really interesting experience. But I've had a lot of people also ask about the names of books that I have loved and read because I talk about books all the time. And anybody that's actually around me in real life circumstances, I'm like, hey, so yeah, in this book I read, let me tell you about this book. But here are some of the books. By the way, Instagram, obviously y'all can hear me because like you're there. But have y'all been able to hear me this whole time? Because I just realized the way I've got my camera propped up, it's like in some fabric. Yeah, let me know if you can't hear me for some reason. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you the books. Sorry, distraction squirrel. Okay, so the first book I read was Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Wash Your Face, which is just the best book ever, and it's amazing. And I cannot wait for her new book that is coming out, I think February or March, and it's called Girl Stop Apologizing, which she does a live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, and she's been sharing some quotes out of it and on there. And also in her like pictures and stuff on Instagram. And it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait for it. And it's already made me kind of like question some things and think about some things differently. But that was the very first one I read, was Girl Wash Your Face. And I mean listened to, because Audible is fabulous when you can plug it in your ears. I have AirPods. If y'all want to like change your life with some books and start listening to some things that will better your mind, then put some AirPods on your Christmas list, because it's a game changer as far as like listening to things on your phone, because headphones with the cord and you get all wrapped up and then you got to like keep it on you and all this stuff. But if you have AirPods, you can leave your phone over here on the counter and you can be cleaning up the kitchen and folding clothes and not get wadded up in the cords. So little non-sponsored plug for AirPods, because I freaking love them. So I've been listening to all my books. Listen to Girl Wash Your Face twice, actually, because it was so good and so changed my entire view of like life. And then after that, I want to say I listened to, it was The Power of Habit, which I think she actually recommended in the Girl Wash Your Face book. And it was really great too. It talks about kind of like why we do the things we do and how a lot of the things we do are based on habit. Is really good. I'm not even going to like try to explain what all these books are about, because I've listened and read so many of them that I probably will get them all crossed over each other. But I listened to that one. I also listened to Codependent No More, which I've talked about this some. And it's not a book that would probably be super relevant for everybody unless you're going through something kind of like what I've been talking about. She focuses a lot on talking about how people are affected by having a relationship of any sort, whether it's a marriage or like a parent-child relationship or a sibling or somebody that you feel responsible for, with somebody who has an addiction. And I think, but some of it is just relevant to life in general. As a person who likes to be in control, as a person who likes to have things the way you like it and have things predictable, and just kind of separating yourself from other people in that way. Not separating yourself physically, like I don't want to be with anybody ever, but separating yourself emotionally, and not allowing other people's decisions to completely ruin or make your week. Kind of goes back to some of the stuff I've talked about like nobody else can determine your happiness, your mood, and all that stuff, which, you know, I do believe that. I totally do believe that. But I also think somebody can do or say something and it can make you feel sad. Like it can make you upset, but it's how you handle those emotions and how you process it and move on, to determine like how you sit with those emotions. Okay. So that's a great book. That's Melody Beatty is her Beatty. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's her book. And so she has Codependent No More. Then there's also one called The New Codependency. So if the addiction part doesn't really fit with your life, The New Codependency is much more broad and it is more updated. The other one, I think, is a little bit of an older book, but it's still super amazing. So good. But The New Codependency talks a lot about more current-ish kind of things and a broader range. And then she also has Beyond Codependency, which is a really good one too. I listened to all her books because I was like, these are all so good. I want to hear them all. And I really think I'm going to listen to one of them again, starting as soon as I finish the book I'm listening to now, because I just feel like I need reminders. Like it's with the whole codependency thing, the way it's kind of presented is as something that you have to recover from, having this mindset, having these thought patterns, these behavior patterns, and falling back into that is super easy, just like it is with any type of thing that you might be recovering from. And it's easy to just kind of let your thoughts and your your patterns go back to that, which is, related to the whole, the habits thing. Like if you have a habit of being that way, and if certain things trigger those habits, and certain things trigger your behavior patterns and your thought patterns. So yeah, I'm probably going to listen to that again. So listen to those. Also listen to High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard, which is, it's a little bit more kind of like, business success, like that kind of driven, but it's related to all things. But I guess to me, I took a little bit more of it related to that part of my life. And it's another one that I'm like, I want to listen to that again. Now that I've had this shift in mindset, I want to listen to all of them again, because I feel like I'll think about them totally differently now than I did when I first listened to them. But I loved that book. It's a great book. Actually just ordered, he had like a high performance planner that just came out, and I actually ordered that today. So I'm really excited to get that in the mail. I don't think it even comes out till Wednesday or something like that. But anyways, okay, so that one, and then I feel like I just listened to Boundaries was great. And then I think there's another one, and I can't look because I can't look at stuff on my phone because y'all are Instagram folks are over there on my phone. But the one that I downloaded just a few days ago, it's called Present Over Perfect, or Present Instead of Perfect, or sorry, I just don't remember exactly the name. But one of you guys recommended it to me, and I've been getting out and exercising, and so I'm able to put my headphones in and like listen. And I was like walking the other day around the neighborhood, and I was like crying listening to this book. It was so good. And basically the whole premise of it is, if you tend to live a busy kind of fast-paced lifestyle, whether it's that you're actually busy and all over the place, or busy, like just things in life. If people ask you, hey, how's it going? And you're like, oh, busy, and this happened, and this happened, and then I don't know what I'm going to do about this, and then I've got this and this, and whoa, hello, this and this and this, then it is just something. Oh, look, thanks, babe. Helen just sent me the list of the books. Did I leave out one? Oh, no, I haven't listened to that one, but it's on there. Boundary. Yeah, I listened to all those. Oh, and I also listened to, unrelated, but Body Love by Kelly LeVeque is really good and has changed my whole thoughts on nutrition and like eating habits, and why and how you would eat the things that you do. And it's a really, really great book. So yes, I believe those are all. I think I said all of them. Yes, and it's present over perfect. Yes, like leaving behind the busy something. But I don't know. I tend to be a person who always feels so like scattered, busy, crazy, and it talks about slowing that down and why and how to live a more peaceful, serene life, appreciate the things you're in, and it's just like all of these, I would say, it's like, how did you change your life or your relationship or whatever? Well, a list of like a million books, a million different podcasts, live streams, Instagram people that I've followed. And let me just say too, one thing I'm going to get in your face right now and tell you, one thing that, you've heard, and this is, how it is when you have all your life, you've heard stuff. You've heard like your mom tell you and your best friend tell you and your husband tell you and whoever certain things. But until it clicks with your own head, it doesn't actually change your perception or change your whatever. So I've heard all my life from everybody, you are what you listen to, or whatever you, I think there's like a really catchy way to say this, but basically what you put into your mind is what you're, not what you're going to be or who you are or whatever, but it totally affects how you are, how you, just whatever. It affects you. It just super duper affects you. And I've always been like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I still I know who I am and I know who I want to be. And just because I listen to or watch something that isn't the best influence, that does not mean that I'm going to all of a sudden become a bad person. And I totally agree. I'm not going to become a bad person, or, all of a sudden if I'm watching something about somebody who lives some crazy, horrible lifestyle, I'm not going to become that person. But the thing about it is with social media, scrolling past all these people that you follow, that you are scrolling past thinking like, man, I wish my life was like theirs. Man, I wish I looked as good as they did. Man, I wish I was, as skinny or as pretty or as whatever. Especially I know when we were trying to have kids, it was like, oh, look how cute their kids are. And like they get to have this experience and, the Christmas and the Halloween costumes and all the things. And it would, as much as you're happy for other people and you like to see all that, it can bring you down if you're scrolling past and you find yourself, instead of smiling, looking at it and becoming more just down. Garbage in, garbage out. That's a good way to say it. I just think, I don't know. Anyways, that's been something that has really crossed my mind. And I feel like I've always said, I'll look at people and I tend to honestly be more, other than like the thing I said about when we were trying to get pregnant and it was really, really hard to see other people that were pregnant and having kids. And I was super happy for them, but it was hard and it weighed on my heart a lot. But the more that I've realized that, kind of having neutral feelings with all the people that I scroll through and the things that I listen to. And, I choose things to watch or listen to that were just kind of neutral. And some days I'd listen to good stuff. Some days I'd listen to, not that I was listening to like terrible awful stuff, but, just like your average, like a sitcom, it's funny and it's good, whatever. Well, the more I've started following more people that usually are recommended by the people who either write the books. A lot of times I'll read or listen to one of my books and then I'll go follow that person on Instagram and then follow some of the people they're following, and following more of the like inspirational, positive, those types of pages. Like I followed obviously Rachel Hollis and Brendan Burchard and Shauna, I don't know how to pronounce her name, from the Present Over Perfect book. Rachel's husband, Dave, and just people that, they'll mention or they'll talk about. And as I find myself positive things, or even following some like positive quotes pages. There's one called, I think, like The Power of Positivity. And I saw from our friends, Keith and Beta, they follow or were posting stuff from, I think it's called The Good Quote on Instagram. Really good quotes on that page, guys. If you want to be like inspired, then go follow that page. But there's just lots of really positive stuff out there. And I feel like that's affected my mind so much. And then when I go to, when I do have some downtime and I put in my headphones and I listen to an uplifting book or I listen to some type of uplifting music, then it changes my mood a lot more than listening to just some like, random crap, which random crap is fine and great. And everybody needs to like zone out and listen to random crap sometimes. But I've found myself, the more I'm on this journey, searching for the good stuff and the positive stuff and like seeking out things that will build up my, my like brain and my mindset and make me want to be better and do better and show me how to do that without feeling guilty about it. It's not like the type of things that you look at and it's like some positivity page and you're like, well, that must be nice because I'm not a positive person and nobody's positive around me. It's more of, it's like it changes your perception. And I feel like if you're just watching a lot of talking about, listening to, scrolling past a bunch of random BS, then you're going to feel like random BS yourself, and you're going to output random BS, and your relationship with other people are going to be random BS. And maybe that's a little straightforward, but that's how I feel. So Laura Beth Schmidt said, read Craving Grace. Ooh, that sounds like a good book. I'll have to write that one down and remember that. That's a very good one. Thank you for the super chat. And Frank and Vicky said, thank you for your inspiration to work on myself. You are welcome. Thank you for the super chat. Vanessa said, follow the birds papaya on Instagram. Honest to God, I feel like just following her has changed my perspective on life. What's important, what to be happy about. Ooh, okay. Will you, because I'm going to forget, will you like DM me that because I'm going to forget. If y'all have great inspirational positive pages, first of all, post them like right here because I want everybody else to see them. Okay, somebody's talking to Ellie and Jared. Are Ellie and Jared here? Oh my gosh, I need to say hi to them if they're here. If you guys have inspirational pages or like positive, uplifting stuff that people that you like to follow. Oh, Ellie and Jared, hey, what's up? Ellie or Jared, whoever it may be. Spencer Johnson. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. I will have to look them up. Y'all, seriously, if you DM me these people, because I'm going to totally forget. So I'm sorry, I haven't been reading the comments. Somebody said they've been in here a while commenting. Hey guys, sorry. Apparently Cullen's here too. And I'm like, I get so distracted by the comments and off track in my talking that I'm like, don't look at the comments, just read, just talk. Gaines likes me to make her face look like that because it's so funny. Anyway, okay. See, distractions. Let's see. Okay. So yes, inspirational, positive stuff is great. And obviously, for me personally, I am a Christian. And so I believe prayer and reading the Bible and reading scripture and those types of things are great too. And I've loved that some of the books that I've been listening to or reading are, have that in them as well, but they're not overly, for somebody who may not be a Christian or may not, want to be preached at in a sense. It's incorporated into there in a way that is kind of, friendly to everybody, but still is able to get the word and the point across. So, somebody just asked about favorite podcast and, well, Cullen and Brittany, sorry, I was reading other comments. Cullen and Brittany obviously have a podcast, but it's definitely not related to any of this that I'm talking about. But if you want to listen to it and laugh about some funny stories from when they were growing up, then you can listen to it. It's called the Don't Tell Mom podcast. And that's what they do. That's their little thing. And as far as other podcasts, I honestly really literally just started listening to podcasts because I don't know, I didn't really know how to do it. Even after Cullen started, I was like, how do I listen to this? Like, what do I do? And so, if you swipe to the, for y'all, maybe this way, I don't know which way it is. On your iPhone, you swipe over and you can search your phone for stuff. I literally went in and typed in podcasts and I was like, oh, there's an app. Let me click that. And so our iClouds are connected. So some of it was podcasts that Cullen is subscribed to, but I was able to search and find some people. And honestly, the only reason that I ended up going there is because Rachel Hollis kept talking about her podcast. And I was like, okay, well, fine. I got to check this out. So hers is really great. And she has one that's just her and sort of a little bit more business related, but some of it self-growth as well. But she and her husband have one together and they talk about a lot of great relationship stuff. And I know a lot of y'all are talking about or asking questions about your relationship, your marriage. It's called, I guess I should tell you what it's called. Hers is called Rise. And then her and her husband have one called Rise Together. And it's great. So, hey, Granberry's in here too. What's up? Ellie and Jared. Oh, and Ellie and Jared have a great podcast too. I believe y'all just recently talked about just filming something for your podcast, or you were just doing something else for a podcast. So check theirs out too. And because I'm a really not on top of everything person, I don't remember what it's called. So put your name in there, guys. Shout yourself out because y'all know we love Ellie and Jared. Is it just called Ellie and Jared too? Pocket Cast, Overcast, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts are all great podcast apps to find and listen to a podcast. So, yes, that's great, but it's really important. I've just found for me, because I'm the type of person, I'll listen to something super inspirational or see something, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to change the world, and I'm going to change my life, and everything's going to be great. And then come, 9:00 at night, I'm like, F the world, screw all that. And then the next day, I just forget about it. But when you start following people that are inspirational, that are motivational, that are going to put out positive things, you will be putting it into your brain, and you can't help but kind of take some of it in. All right, let's see. Any questions you guys have as we wrap this up? Because I figure I'd give y'all a chance because I've just been talking so that I wouldn't get distracted because tonight I have, Brian and Missy do have a podcast too. I'm not sure if they've put up anything recently, but they do have a podcast. You can go listen to some of their episodes as well. I'm trying to not even read comments because there's 2 today because Instagram is there too. If y'all YouTube folks aren't following me on Instagram, you can go follow me on Instagram. It's KatiePie07. And I try to post inspirational stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I post a lot of pictures of my kids. Sometimes I get inspirational and get a random wild hair, but most of the time it's pictures and just kind of behind the scenes of stuff. If y'all Instagram folks aren't following my YouTube channel, it is Katie on the Flip Side, because at the end of our daily vlogs, we say catch you on the flip side, and I'm Katie on the flip side. So follow me in all the places. And maybe if y'all liked this being on Instagram as well, I will keep doing it. Okay, questions? Somebody said, how's Brooks doing with potty training? He's doing good. He's Brooks, and he's like, obviously, clearly it runs in the family. He gets distracted and sometimes forgets that he needs to go. And we'll be like, ooh, undies wet. But he's gotten really good. He'll stop himself. If he like starts peeing his pants a little bit, he'll stop himself and go to the bathroom. We still haven't gotten poop down, which, y'all don't want to hear about all that, but I'll just leave it at that. We're working on that still. Somebody said I definitely need to post a list of the books. I do. In my Instagram, if y'all follow me on Instagram, in my Instagram highlights, like if you go to my profile page, there's all the little circles. There's one called, I think it's called Books or Life Changes or something like that. And there's several different stories, but kind of click through them, or you can watch them if you want to. But at the end, or towards the end, there's like a screenshot that I did of a lot of the books that I've read and which ones I read in what order and all that. And you can screenshot that and look some of them up yourself. Let's see. Questions. Am I going to do a cooking with Katie pie this holiday season? I shouldn't I? I don't know what about. That's something I'm trying to figure out about my channel right now, because I'm really enjoying doing these types of videos, but I also still like to do some of the cooking stuff. So I don't know if I do make a cooking video, if I'll just put it on our daily vlog channel, and that might be the vlog for one day, or if I'll put it here. Ever since July, I've been saying I was going to do a 2-year update. In my head, I haven't told y'all because I don't like to tell y'all things that I'm not like going to actually do, but I have tried to tell myself that I'm going to do a 2-year update for Brooks and a 4-year update for Gaines, and I have not done that yet. Okay, anybody who has had good books, good people to follow, good podcasts, if you haven't left them in the comments here, as soon as these videos go live, go leave them in the comments, DM them to me so I can follow them too. Let's all be getting some positive inspiration together. We're all changing our lives together. I know a lot of y'all have really enjoyed all these videos and feel like that you have been able to make some changes too. And that just makes me so happy. Like, I just am so glad that it's, what I'm going through as I'm like fumbling over myself and like tripping over roadblocks in the road, that it's helping some people out too. So, let's see. Oh, potty training, another potty training question. If you need help with that, I do have a video on my Katie on the Flip Side channel. I have like a playlist, so go watch that. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you guys on Thursday with a video on my channel. And I don't know what it's going to be about yet, because I never do, because it comes from my inspiration throughout the week. So there you have it. It'll be something about life. There we go. Okay. Hope you guys have a great week. Wayne Dyer. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. Okay. Bye. Y'all have a great night. Bye. All right. Now I've got to end all these. Hold on. End on YouTube. Peace out. Peace out. Bye. End. Yes. Bye.